And now, a movie review from Man. Today's subject, the Peanuts movie.
You know, they did really well with this movie. I mean, they managed to keep the original charm of Charlie Brown. Everyone felt the same, everyone felt genuine, and most importantly, they kept pop culture references out. The most they had in terms of a pop culture reference is Meghan Trainor's song, and that's fine. It's a nice enough song, and it kind of fits with what's going on in the movie. So what is the main story? It's kind of the typical Charlie Brown sees the little red-haired girl and wants to, meet her. He has a crush on her, and it's fine. It's an old story that's been told before in like smaller Peanuts issues and movies, but it does fine. It's perfectly fine.
Look out, world! Here I come!
The characters are what drives the movie, as all Charlie Brown specials and movies do. It really, the charm is very much there. It's very nostalgic. What you remember from the old Christmas specials, Valentine specials, the old movies, TV shows even, it's still very much there. And the animation really helps this film. What they couldn't do in the old 2D cartoons is, get better angles, always, follow along the characters with certain positions and whatnot. The 3D works so much better here because when you're on Snoopy's doghouse, when he's, being the flying ace going against the Red Baron, it captures really good angles. It makes you feel like you are flying with him. And they do it just right. They do not show the bottom of his doghouse. Like in the originals, they keep it, angled so the bottom is is still out of the shot, completely out of the frame. It does it perfectly. And I also kind of like how his Red Baron story is more like a juxtaposition to what's going on with Charlie Brown. It does pretty well in that aspect. The one gripe I personally have is it does not use much jazz, really. There's like no real jazz. There's the, Linus and Lucy theme that you always hear when you think of Charlie Brown, of course. But there's not much in terms of jazz. Like, that's one thing I really liked about Charlie Brown, but they didn't have it, and to be honest, the original creator, Charles M. Schulz, didn't really care for jazz, so why not? It still works.
Are you serious?
I like the idea for Snoopy. They just decided to get old clips of Bill Melendez, or if I'm pronouncing that right, and it's great. You just can't get a different voice actor for that. For Snoopy especially, he's, or Woodstock, they're just very good. He was just the perfect Snoopy in Woodstock. All the characters are just as great as you remember them. Peppermint Patty, great. Lucy, great. Sally, great. Linus, all of them great. Schroeder, Franklin, everybody, it's great. And the way they do the film is just perfect enough. It captures that original charm. It's nostalgic. It's very nostalgic. When you see this movie, you will be thinking Charlie Brown by the end of it. You will think that was a great movie. It perfectly captured Charlie Brown. Some people might say it doesn't take enough risks, but to be honest, that was Charlie Brown. It wasn't known for taking risks. And to be honest, Charles M. Schulz is dead, so how would you wouldn't want anyone to try to take a risk with his creation like that. I mean, you wouldn't want Charlie Brown to be tackling major subject matters or anything like that, so it's perfectly fine. All in all, this is a really good movie. It will perfectly capture that nostalgia of watching Peanuts growing up as a child. It's something you should take your kids to see if you have any kids. It's something you should see if you grew up on Charlie Brown. Even if you didn't grow up on Charlie Brown, it is a perfect movie, a really good movie. But that's just a thought.